Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastuma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim Chatatputra Parasharam Cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Matasya Sishyam Sri Shankaracharya Matasya Padma Padam Chahastamalakam Cha Sishyam Tam Todakam Vartikakaramanyānasmadgurūn Santatamanatosmi Shruti Smriti Puranānāmalayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidparam Mauna Vyakya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam Yuvanam Vasishtante Vasat Rishiganaihi Avratam Brahmanishtahi Acharyendram Karakalita Chinmudramanandarupam Swatma Ramam Mudita Padanam Dakshinamurti Mide. Read the 7th verse. Palyadishvabhijagradadishu tata sarvasvabhastasvapi vyavrittasvanumartamanamahamittyantaspurantam sada swatmanam prakatikaroti bhajatam yo mudraya bhadraya tasmai Sri Gurumurtaye namayidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. In this verse, we have seen so far an extension of the previous verse only. What is Pratyabhijna? That is being discussed, because in the previous verse, Pratyabhijnayate, that was used. Pragasvapsam iti prabodha samaya Pratyabhijnayate. This Pratyabhijna pramanam va na pramanam va. Is it a means of knowledge or not? Is the discussion that has been going on. And Pratyabhijna is not a smriti or a memory, but a retention of experience known as a samskar. And that is the reason why a person who wakes up comes to know that the one has slept well. So here, the discussion we have seen in the verse number 16, which we did last week. Pratyabhijnatma sakshi sa pratyabhijna. Sa sakshi, it witness to Pratyagatma is Pratyabhijna. That which is known, the presence of the Pratyagatma. The existence of the self without any break, without any change, even at the time of sleep, where everything is withdrawn. Tasya sakshi, atmanaha sakshi pratyabhijna. So here, yataha sarva pramananam sadhanam sarva pramana vrittanta abhijnanat abhijnanatmakam ityartha. That which is ascertains the nature of or the truth that is revealed through any pramana. Sarva pramananam sadhanam sarva pramana vrittanta abhijnanatmakam. So that which ascertains the nature of the self through every pramana. As we saw in the previous session, the perception of an object evidently present in front of me, maybe a flower, a tree, a person, whatever. Aksham pradi yat jnayate iti pratyaksham. In everyone's perception, it is the same. Or through various sense organs, I come to comprehend the presence of an object. And there is no doubt in my mind that since I have seen it through my own senses, so that's called pratyaksha, evidential, direct perception. But even that direct perception must be available to us as knowledge. This is this. This is a pot. This is a cat. This is a tree. This is a flower. Based upon what? How do you ascertain the object, what it is? Based upon the impression created in the past about the same object. If I have never seen an object and it is right in front of me, I see it, but I do not know what it is. How do I know? Based upon the impressions created by the previous perception about the same object. So also Anumana Pramana. Anumana Pramana again, I Anumiyate Anumana. I come to infer that it has rained because it's all wet outside, or there is a fire on the mountain because there is smoke. Again, Pratyaksha Anubhava must have taken place before, which has become an impression, samskara in my mind. Recalling that and connecting to present situation, I come to infer that could be a rain. So also Upamana. So all the pramanas must have Pratyabhijna as the very substratum. That's why it is said Pramananam. So at the previous Pramananam cha sadhanam. In Sarvesham Pramananam sadhanam. The verse number 16. Now the question is, what is the nature of Maya? Maya is that which conceals the reality and projects something which is not real. Conceals the real one and projects something which is apparent, illusion, temporary. So that is, it is capable of concealing which is permanent. Concealing that is actually pratyaksha. Concealing or veiling something which is very difficult to hide. As much as sunlight cannot be hidden too long by anything else, it is so bright and self-resplendent. How long can a person hide the sunlight? Unless one goes into a gufa or a cave and shuts oneself in the dark room. In the same way, the nature of the self I am, that is hidden from me. And a person who lives not knowing the self is said to be the one who is bound, samsari. So in the next verse, Ishwarasya abhijnana swarupam. ईश्वर pratyabhijnana swarupam. ईश्वर का वो प्रत्यभिज्ञान स्वरूप जो है, because in the previous यप्रत्यभिज्ञायते तस्मै श्री सद्गुरु तस्मै श्री Dakshinamoorty Namaha, that is what he said. So Ishvara is referred as Pratyabhijna. So the Ishvara is, who is he? Ishvara is that very knowledge who I am, hidden. So here in this verse number 17, we read, Ishvaronyahamapyanyaha iti vichedakarinim vyakshipya vidyaya mayam Ishvarohamiti smritihi. Ishvaraha anyaha aham anyaha. Ishvara is different, I am different. Iti vichedakarinim. The one which is vicheda, achedanam. Achedanam is to cover. Visheshena achedakarinim. The one which is specially able to cover. But hiding my nature as Ishvaraha, making me think I am different from Ishvaraha. Ishvaraha anyaha, aham api anyaha iti vichedakarinim. And when this very situation where I am unaware of my nature of being Ishvaraha and considering myself as a jiva, the limited individual, vidyaya vyakshipya mayam vyakshipya, vidyaya mayam vyakshipya. By the knowledge, when this maya is being torn apart as though or removed, having removed the vicheda, having removed this veil through vidya, vidyaya maya vyakshipya, Ishvara aham iti smritihi pratyabhijna. When the avidya is removed through vidya, please understand, avidya ekava vrittihi, eka vrittihi, vidya api eka vrittihi, vritti jnanam. A thought, a continuous thought, aham anyaha ishvarat anyaha iti vrittihi, avidya vrittihi. This avidya vritti, when it is prevalent in us continuously, it's not that I have to say all the time, aham ishvaratanyah, aham ishvaratanyah, aham ishvaratanyah. But it is there permanently there. But then the Shravanat, Mananat, Tada, Nididhyasanat, by the listening, reflection and meditation, one develops the Vidyavritti. What Vidyavritti? Aham Ishvaraha. Ishvarat na anyaha aham. So this Vidyaya Mayam Vyakshipya. Katakarenuvat, so called. Like the dirty water in the Atmabodha, Bhagavan Shankaracharya gives the example of that knowledge is like knowledge is covered or polluted by the ignorance. Awareness is polluted by ignorance, as though like a pure water is there and there are so many dust and other particles. Then there is a particular powder that is used, Kataka Renu, and that what it does is it creates a film and then takes all the dirt down only to make the pure water available to us. In the same way, Vidya is removing the misunderstanding. Mayam Vidyaya Vyakshipya Ishvaraha Aham iti Smriti. I am Ishvaraha. This Smriti is this remembrance. What enables the remembrance is Pratyabhijna. So, tam eva pratyabhijnam sarupatah nirdishyati. What is its nature is being said here. Smritihi pratyabhijna iti sheshaha. But in these words, what is referred as smritihi, remembrance, recollection, that is called pratyabhijna. Yadva maya swabhavam anudya tasya vidyaya abhavadane sati swayameva swarupa avirbhavah pratyabhijna iti darshayati. Swayameva swarupa avirbhavah. Swayameva on its own, avirbhavah, manifestation of its nature upon removal of the misunderstanding, that is called pratyabhijna. Now, there is a particular example that is used in the next verse. Like that of the sun again, the sun whose light can never be covered, but it appears to have been concealed by the clouds, etc. When the clouds are removed, megha apaye amshuman iva swayam jyotiswarupatvat, of the nature of self-illumination, so too Atma Swayam Janati Chitswarupatvat, the nature of the self is self-awareness, being of the nature of consciousness it is. There is no one needs to introduce you to you. You know who you are. Of course, if I have forgotten, somebody will have to tell me. But telling me is not making me. Do you know you're human? No. I'll tell you, then you become human. No. By telling me I don't become human, by telling me I know that I'm human. By telling you I become human. Similarly, by the Shastra telling me that you are consciousness, I don't become consciousness. The Shastra telling me that you are Ishvara, I don't become Ishvara. Aham Ishvara iti abhijanati. So this is explained here. Vidya karyam. What is the effect of the vidya vritti? Ishat prakasha budhishaha maya yavanika vritaha samyak avarana paye sahasram shriva supuret. When sun has been covered by anything, obviously there is no total absence of the sun. Even the covering will be known only because of the light of the sun. Ignorance is also known by the same awareness. Aham ajnaha, who knows? I am aware of my own ignorance. What I do not know, I am aware. That awareness is even illuminating that even illuminating that ignorance. In the same way, as much as Rahu Grasta Divakara in the Sadrsha, which is used in the previous verse, Rahuna Grastaha Divakara Induhu. So the sun, when it is covered, swallowed by the Rahu, It is not totally unavailable, totally blanked out, totally darkened. No. Ishat Prakasha. A little light alone is there. The little light to explain that even that state of concealment is known. That is what happens in sleep. Where the state of concealment, where all the sense organs, etc., are withdrawn, that state of withdrawal of all mind and senses, etc., are also known. So, Ishat Prakasha Abud Ishaha. Ishat means little. Ishat Prakashaha Abud Ishaha. The Lord has become of little light, as though little awareness. Maya Yavani Kavritaha. Yavanika means veil. Yavanika Avritaha. Maya Yavanika Avritaha. That which is concealed by the veil of Maya. Samyak Avarana Apaye. Upon the removal of this Avarana, of the removal of this concealment, Sahasram Shuriva Spuret. Like that of Sahasramshu. Sun is considered Sahasramshu because it is having 1,000 rays. 1,000, it's only a number, but it's not only 1,000. Thousands of rays. So bright it is. Sahasramshu Iva, like that of sun, which is having such many bright radiance. Iti Spuret comes to manifest. So, Samyak Avarana Apaye, that's very important. Upon the removal of the veil, the covering. So, Vidyaya Avidya Matram Badhyate na Swarupam Prakashyate iti etat prapanchayati. Vidyaya Avidya Matram Badhyate. The role of Vidya Vritti is removing the Avidya Vritti. That is all it is. Swayam Prakashana. So the Swayam Prakash, Swarupa Prakashanam is not done by Vidya. Knowledge, but we gain from scriptures, Guru, etc. They do not create this consciousness. They only remove the ignorance about that consciousness. Swayam Prakashade Atma. Finally, the Atman of the nature of pure, its own pure awareness, intelligence, it shines forth. So, Maya eva Yavanika, Tiraskarani. Tiraskarani, one which conceals, is called Yavanika, is Maya. So, it is Mega Avarana Apaye Yata Sahasramshu. Like that of on the removal of Mega Avarana, the cloud that is covering, how Sahasramshu Surya Sada Swasiddha Prakashena Eva Spurati. Swasiddha Prakashena Eva Spurati. It is always shining on its own accord. Evam, in this way, Maya Avaranasya, that which is covered by Maya, Vidyaya Apaye, with the help of knowledge, when it is removed, Jate Swadasiddha Prakashena Eva Atma Spuret. The Atman on its own accord, its own self-illumination reveals. Tadacha Purva Siddha Spuranena Eva Yata Vat Swarupa Abhivyakti Matram Pratyabhijna iti Apipraya. So, the state of self-revelation that takes place, that is referred as Pratyabhijna. So, there are three things which we saw so far. Pratyagatma Sakshi, Pratyabhijna. Number one. Then he says, Ishvaraha aham idi smritihi Pratyabhijna. Then here it is said, Abhivyakti matram Pratyabhijna. So first one is Sakshi Pratyagatma. Pratyagatma Sakshi Pratyabhijna. So when upon one sleeps and then when he wakes up, comes to know that I slept, that very ability to know that I have slept well, that Sakshi of the Chaitanyam at the time of sleep is Pratyabhijna. Then again, the knowledge that I am Ishvaraha, I am always Ishvaraha, that is Pratyabhijna. Then the third one is now the state of illumination upon removal of this ignorance is Pratyabhijna. Now, this Pratyabhijna or the samskara that is there, which is also considered as a pramana, for it is sarva pramananam sadhanam. As it is said, it is for all the pramanas. This is the main point of that impression, which is alone is valid, considered in all pramanas. It is the one thing that is common in all. That is it created? Is it an activity? What is its role in the enlightenment? It is that which is destroyer of the delusion or the misunderstanding, and that is explained in the next verse. Ajnana nivrittireva pramana palataha. Ajnana nivrittireva pramana palataha. Meaning, pramananam phalam ajnana nivrittihi. All the result of all pramanas, only one, ajnana nivritti. Pratyaksha pramana, anumana pramana, anupalapti pramana, upama pramana, shabda pramana. All the arthapatti pramana, all of them have got only one common purpose, ajnana nivritti. And that's what Pratyabhijna does. Bringing back the correct understanding of yourself, that being the end, that is enabled by removal of ajnana. So pramana does the removal of the ajnana. What is already there comes to reveal itself. So that's why it is said here in the next verse, Nakarananam vyaparat pramananam nava punaha pratyabhijnapanam nama mohapasaranam param. All pramanas, all methods of knowledge, all the means of knowledge is meant for removal of the ignorance. And interestingly, our Vedantic text, all of them use varieties of pramanas, if you carefully look at it. Sometime it will be pratyaksha, while definition of the nature of Atman is again and again pointed out. Sanityaha, Sasatyaha, and all that explanation of Adreshyam, Agrahyam, Avarnam, Ajaksha Stotram, Nityam, Vibhum, Sarvagatam, Susuksham. These are all explanation about the nature of the self. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Then upamas are given, like that of the sun, that of the Akash. Then explanation like that of the who is the witness of your sleep, that is called Anumana Pramana. That is also used to show presence of the self in the absence of all other things. What brings you able to, makes you able to remember. So various ways, varieties of pramanas are used only to make sure that one's ajnana nivritti takes place. Now, this pratyabhijna is not a vyavara of any kind on any activity result. So, na karananam vyaparat pramananam va punaha. So, it is said that pratyabhijna is not a particular activity. Coming to know oneself, see, even Shravana, you can call it as an activity. One has to go and read a book or listen to the scriptures. Mananam, you can say to some extent an activity because you're sitting and reflecting on that. And also withdrawal of the mind, etc., and then trying to maintain the one stream of thoughts upon nature of the self so that one can avoid all unwanted distracted thoughts. You may call it as an activity also. But the revolution that takes place upon the removal of ignorance is not an activity, an action. Na karakam parantu jnapakartam jnanam. Jnanam jnapakartam. The nature of knowledge is to reveal one's true nature and not any particular activity. So pratyabhijna na karananam vyaparat. It is not caused by any action, any kind of vyapar. So it is said, kadam purvasiddha swarupamatram pratyabhijnanamuchyate agantukameva kinchit dharmarupam katam na ishyate iti ashankya. So how is that kadam purvasiddha swarupamatram pratyabhijnanamuchyate? How is that coming to realize whatever always there, the consciousness I am, which is always there, coming to recognize my true nature, how can that become called as pratyabhijna? Kadam purvasiddha swarupamatram pratyabhijnanamuchyate. Agantukameva kinchit dharma rupam kadam na ishyate. And not by any other means of knowledge, pramananam nava punah, it is said, tat kim karana vyaparat pramana vyaparat va syat iti vikalpya kramena nirakaroti. It by succession is going to say how it is not initiated by any action, not a result of a particular pramana. It is not a result of any particular pramana or a means of knowledge. Not also any external activity that initiate this. Then what is it? Moha apasaranam param pratyabhijnapanam nama. Removal of the delusion about oneself. Now, interesting point is, everybody will ask, when whoever studies Vedanta will have only one question which they will surely ask at some point of time or the other. Take it from me for granted. When did it all start? Is it not? May mood ho, but tell me, when did it start? Why? Where did the avidya begin? Where is that I forgot myself? When did I forget? See, if I saw you, and after so many days, etc., after not being away, and then many years later, when I see you, oh, I know you. Yes, we have met somewhere 20 years back. Now, 20 years back I met you, that time I know you, and afterwards, over a period of time, I forgot, and then now I come to know. So I know the beginning of my forgetfulness. Meaning, When I saw you first, I know it. Afterwards, I forgot. So somewhere between then and now, it slowly I had forgotten. I understood that. That means originally I was consciousness. Then I became not unconscious. I am not aware of that consciousness. But when did it begin? How did it happen? And when you say pratyabhijna is moha apasaranam param, moha apasaranam pratyabhijnanam. Removal of the moha, removal of this misunderstanding, delusion is what you call pratyabhijna. How did it happen? First of all, that what? Forgetfulness. So, कारण व्यापारात् उत्पाद्या न प्रत्यभिज्ञा न पुनः प्रमाण व्यापारात् ज्ञाप्येत इत्यर्थः। किं तर्हि मोह अपसरणं परम् अभिव्यक्ति कारणम् इत्यर्थः। अभिव्यक्ति कारणं, that which makes the revelation possible through any pramana and every pramana. What is basically done is removal of the delusion, and that very removal of delusion is what is called pratyabhijna, remembrance, recollection of one's own true nature, whether it's pratyaksha, anumana, upamana, whatever be it is. As we have seen very clearly, impressions that have been there alone can be recollected. Whatever has been already been there, recollection means whatever has already been impression is there, or that is recollected, that is what is called pratyabhijna. That means I have been always the nature of the self. When due to certain delusions I have forgotten, and when it comes to reveal that what I am, that state of revelation is what is known as the pratyabhijna, the impression coming to be, which was there, which come to be known by me. All right. Now the discussion is when and how this delusion take place. Now, interesting point is, now we'll read the next verse and we'll know. Atma banasya swadasiddhatah. Atma banasya swadasiddhatah. So the nature of the reality is self-eliminating. Yavanti santi bhanani manani vyavahara pravruttaye tesham mohapasaranat vyaparonyo na vidyate. Yavanti manani santi. Yavanti pramanani santi. Whatever be the pramana that are there, whichever be the pramana that is there, vyavahara pravruttaye, which makes us able to engage in this world, tesham moha apasaranat. Among that vyapara, when the moha is to removed, other than that, vyaparaha anyaha na vidyate. All pramanas are meant for us to remove this moha, which is making us able to engage in this world. Moha alone making us engage the world. In other words, moha alone is making us engage in the relative world. What moha? That I am so and so. With that I am so and so is removed, no vyapara is possible. Tasya karyam na vidyate. So when one comes to know aham Ishwaraha, aham Brahma, what else he can do afterwards? Kya kar sakta hai? Yeah, what can he do? He will become helpless. Gurudev used to say, I am unemployed and I am unemployable. Because I cannot be employed any further. Only a person of desire can get into action. Now what can I do? Atmanyeva atmana tuttaha tasya karyam na vidyate. Now what makes us able to engage in any action? Vyapara. So here, Vidyaya Atma Avabhasaha Swadassiddhaha Avarana Tirodhanameva Manakrityam iti etat sarva pramana sadharanya pradipadanena sadayati yavanti santi iti. So here there is an elaborate discussion by this commentator Ramatirtha going on to many pages to prove only one point finally. What? This avarana that takes place, this concealment that takes place about the self, and due to vidya, how that suddenly disappears, both are anirvachaniya, impossible to comprehend. See, in Panchadashi, chapter 6, when you're discussing, there also they come to similar standpoint. How the individual jiva considering the world as real and engaging in all activities, considering oneself as an individual jiva, thereby he is looking at all other jivas as different from him. Creation is real and therefore Ishvaraha, the creator, is also real. And there, myself or the individual and the Ishvaraha, there is a difference based upon the upadhis. All these are all inexplicable. That is the nature of Maya. So as even the magician who demonstrates something on the stage, until you know why and how he does that, which most of them don't know, when he shows things which are unbelievable, but still you can see it, you see it in your own, with your own eyes you see it, but still your mind is unable to comprehend how is it possible, and you know very fact that something is doing which I don't know. What he's doing is making some impossible possible. Sudden appearance, sudden disappearance, sudden this and that. How? Must have some skill, no? Some power. Power to delude people. Nitya, Niram, Nitya, what called? What's a beautiful verse in Maya picture? Nirupama Nityadiram Shaikepya Shunye. No, Nitya Nirupama Nitya Niram Shakepya Kande Mayichiti Sarva Vikalpanadi Shunye Gatayadi Jiva Ishvara Jiva Kadayadi Jiveshvara Jiva Bedamekam Agatita Gatana Patiyasi Maya Gatayati Jagat Isha Jiva Vedamekam Agatita Gatana Patiyasi Maya Nirupama Nitya Niramshaka Akhanda Murti. Me, the one who is Nirupama, no Upama, uncomparable, Nitya, eternal, Niramshake, Api Akhande, even me as the one which has no parts in that holy, whole, complete one, Mayichiti, in my consciousness, Sarva Vikalpanadi Shunye, which is devoid of all Vikalpanas, all modifications. Gatayati, it creates what? Jagat Isha Jiva Bedam, that which is able to create Jagat, Ishvara and Jiva. Agatita Gatana Patiyasi Maya, what is impossible made possible by Maya. So Maya Panchakam, first verse itself, Maha Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, this is the nature of Maya. Now, having understood a problem, which is not understood actually, having recognized or known the problem, what we need to do is only to remove the problem and come to a final solution. Now, if you keep on asking why the problem, you'll never know. Once Bhagavan, our Swami Tapovanam was approached by Gurudev, Swami Chinmaya, when he was studying there, he said, I am so fascinated by this Maya. I just want to know more about this. So immediately Swami Tapovanam said, better you don't know this. Find out how to remove this, not inquire upon this. Because you will never know. It'll drag you forever. Find a solution to get out, don't find its source. It will never be known. Anirvachaniya. So here, finally, after discussing so much, what does he say? Tasmat, Parisheshat, at the end. Nirvachaniyasya, of this which is indescribable. Kasyachit, somehow. Anirvachaniyena, of this which is indescribable one. Nivrittihi, final solution, elimination. Iti moha nivritti matram, removal of the delusion. Pramana krityam iti siddham. That is what any pramana does. All pramanas are to improve, all the pramanas are mainly intended only to remove the delusion created by Maya, because of which one misunderstands oneself different from Ishvara and engages in all activities, and that samsara, which is constantly troubles him, coming out of that moha is the purpose of all pramanas. Iti siddham. So what is and what is not? What is not shown, what is not is seen to be real. Meaning, the real assumes the nature as though of the unreal, and the unreal assumes the nature of the real. This is what is called anyonya adhyas. Adhyasa, projection, superimposition. So a thing that is not there, assuming it to be real or seen to be real, and what is not real, what is real, seems to assume the nature of being unreal. So this is the nature of the adhyasa, anyonya adhyasa. And this is what is called delusion. Delusion is what? जो है वो दिखता नहीं, जो नहीं है वो दिखता है. जो नहीं है, what is not there, takes the qualities of what is real, and though it is real, it assumes the qualities of the unreal. This is the anirvachaniya nature. This is how is it happening. That is why it is powerful. Why Maya is called powerful? This is the power. And because of this very anyonya adhyasa, it creates the entire universe for that to experience. So that is there in the next set. Samsarasya adhyasa nibandanatvam. Samsarasya adhyasa nibandanatvam. How the bondage is created by this adhyasa. Jadan rita parichinna deha dharma chidatmani satyajnana sukatmatvam moha dehe vikalpyate. Jada anruda parichinna deha dharmaha. Dehasya dharmaha. The nature, not nature, the qualities of body is what, or the characteristic nature of the body of is what? What are the traits of the body? Jada, inert. Anrita, unreal. Parichinna, limited. Deha dharmaha. These are the qualities of the body. Qualities in the sense, these are all the traits. These are all chidatmani. In that pure consciousness, it is projected on adhyas. So when I ask you, are you jada or chetan? Are you a inert object or a alive thing? So when you say, I am conscious, I am a conscious being, you come to see that even though I am a conscious being, I'm life, I'm alive, etc. But what am I afraid of? Becoming dead. Now tell me, that which is alive, that which is life, how can it will be dead? Unless you consider life only as a product of something. If a thing is a product of something, it will come to an end. If it is an effect of a cause, it will come to an end. When cause is removed, effect will end. Correct? What is a necklace? A gold with a particular design. When does a necklace end? When I put it in the fire and melt it. So the necklace is gone. Gold is there. That's a different thing. Necklace is gone. So what am I thinking now? I'm saying I'm alive and I'll be dead. That is to say, I have taken Deha Dharma as mine. Body is subject to death because it's product. It is created and it appears to have life. We'll come to the later on how it got life. That is a different thing. It appears to have life. And when the body ends, I say my life end. And my life end also. Now what have you taken to yourself? The qualities of the body as yours. Jadatva, Anrutatva, not real, it means constantly changing. Parichinnatva, of its being limited. Jada Anruta Parichinna Deha Dharmaha Chidatmani Adhyasitam. Adhyasitaha. But that alone is not that. What actually is the life of the body? What actually is making me feel that I am the body? What makes me think that I am constantly here only to gain happiness through the body? Satyam jnana sukatmatvam atmanaha. Of the nature of pure existence, consciousness, bliss of the self, mohat, due to illusion, dehepi kalpyate. It is projected as the qualities of the body, meaning the real qualities of the body is obscured by projection of the qualities of the self on it. Similarly, nature of the self is obscured by qualities of the body projected on it. This is called anyonyadhyas. What is one is mistaken to be another. What is the other mistaken to be the first one? This is what is called anirvachaniya. Why it happened? I don't know. But it is. That is a problem here. So now see, Yesterday also I was addressing interfaith, young youth interfaith group about Hinduism. I just do not want to talk about, the creator, sustainer, and all that they probably would know from the books, etc. So I just want to, within 10 minutes, I have to explain to him what is Hinduism. And the problem is misunderstanding. Who you are, you don't know. To solve the problem is this particular religion called Hinduism. To solve that problem. What problem? I don't know who I am. So long as you do not know who I am, there is constant unhappiness and uncertainty about yourself. If you're traveling with a person whom you don't know, how comfortable you will be? Tell me. If you're traveling with a person next to you, for 10 minutes it's okay. 1 hour, tolerable. 5 hours, little difficult. 12 hours, I'll go to sleep. I don't need to know about this, but I'll go to sleep. Let him eat whatever you want, let me eat whatever you want. Whole life. How uncomfortable it would be. I just don't know. They're always there. So here, if mistaking one to be another, see, even in the normal transaction, if somebody mistake yourself to be another, don't you feel annoyed? Oh, after some time, you say, oh, I thought you were somebody else. Hey, Buddhu, why didn't you ask me first? You've taken me to be somebody else and you have been telling so many things. And now let us say he's talking after a while. You are not that person. Oh my God. I took you to be somebody else. So, but it's better to first introduce yourself well. Let me introduce myself properly so that you don't mistake me to be somebody else. Similarly, knowing oneself is primary knowledge that needs to be done, without which anything else you do is you're transacting, interacting, everything with the wrong person. And only after a long time later you come to know, waste 75 years I wasted now. I'm dealing with the wrong person. So, Deha Dharmaha, Jadatva, Anrutatva, Parichinnatva, Deha Dharmaha Kalpyate, Atmani. And Sat Chit Sukamat Satyajnana Jnana Sukatmatvam Atmanaha Mohat Dehe Kalpyate. This is what is called the grandest original mistake. What we call in Christianity, original sin. This is what it is. This is called the original sin, not anything else. Not the man attracted a woman, woman attracted. That is not the original sin. The original sin is this. Anyonyadhyasa is the original sin. Because of which the whole problem started. All right, we'll see more of it in the next class. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.